No one expected the broadcast that day to turn into such an explosive confrontation, but it did, and the spotlight was on none other than Elon Musk. What was supposed to be a lively debate between opposing viewpoints quickly turned into a heated clash between Musk and Representative Jasmine Crockett on live television. After only a few exchanges, the atmosphere in the studio became tense. Crockett repeatedly interrupted Musk, attacking him with sharp words, while Musk, calm but cutting, delivered a counterblow that left the entire audience stunned. In an unprecedented move, Crockett was asked to leave the set, shocking the studio and millions of viewers. What had started as a debate had turned into a media earthquake, a moment that would be endlessly discussed for weeks. The stage lights shone brightly, but the tension in the studio was palpable. All eyes were on the host table where Elon Musk and Representative Jasmine Crockett sat, ready to debate. Joy Behar, the seasoned host, introduced the topic, the role of big tech in Trump's administration and the future of America. She introduced her guests, Musk, founder of Tesla, SpaceX, and the force behind X, and Crockett, a powerful Democratic voice unafraid to challenge the powerful. Joy began with a question about Doogie, Musk's controversial initiative to improve government efficiency. Crockett wasted no time attacking Musk, claiming he fired thousands of federal workers for his own benefit. "How can you justify destroying the lives of these workers?" she asked. Musk responded calmly, pointing out the inefficiencies in the government and arguing that his cuts saved billions. "Why keep unnecessary jobs that burden the public?" he countered. Crockett, not backing down, accused Musk of using Doogie as a power grab. Musk, unfazed, responded, "I'm solving problems, not showing off." The tension grew as Crockett accused Musk of manipulating X to serve his interests. Musk shot back, questioning why Crockett still had 2.5 million followers on X, despite posting anti-Musk content. The audience reacted, some applauding, some booing. The debate shifted to the topic of free speech on social media. Crockett criticized Musk for allowing extreme voices to dominate on X. Musk, ever composed, challenged her to provide specific examples of censorship. When Crockett couldn't, Musk leaned into his argument, explaining how X's algorithm was transparent and open for scrutiny. Despite Crockett's attempts to label Musk a manipulator, he remained unshaken, explaining that X had given people the freedom to choose their views. "X belongs to its users, not me," he said. As the debate raged on, the questions turned to Musk's business dealings with China and its ties to Trump's administration. Crockett raised concerns about potential conflicts of interest, accusing Musk of prioritizing profit over national security. Musk calmly refuted her accusations, pointing out that Tesla created jobs in the U.S. and did not take subsidies from China. He argued that if the U.S. didn't compete globally, it would lose its edge. "If I don't compete in China, the U.S. loses," Musk stated, turning the tables on Crockett's argument. The audience buzzed as Musk continued to defend his business decisions, highlighting that Tesla operated transparently and had created thousands of American jobs. He questioned why some politicians in Crockett's party had taken money from Chinese companies, suggesting it was a double standard. Crockett didn't relent, accusing Musk of using Tesla to hide his real motives. "You're loyal to profits, not America," she said, her voice rising. But Musk remained unfazed, emphasizing his commitment to America's leadership and free speech. "I spent $44 billion to buy X and protect free speech," Musk said. "If I only cared about profits, I wouldn't have done that." The audience was divided, with some applauding Musk's stance while others supported Crockett's fiery rhetoric. The clash left everyone in the studio on edge, with the debate reaching new heights. The spotlight was no longer just on Musk or Crockett. It was on the broader question of power, freedom, and the role of billionaires in shaping the future. The studio was tense as Elon Musk and Representative Jasmine Crockett faced off in a heated debate on The View. The clash over Musk's ties to China and his influence on American politics had the audience on edge. Musk sat calmly in his chair, cool and composed, while Crockett's frustration grew, her hands gripping the table as she prepared for her next move. Joy Behar, the host, tried to regain control. "Thank you both for such a tense and lively debate," she said, her voice smooth but expectant. "We've talked about Doge X and Tesla's role in China, but how are billionaires like Mr. Musk shaping American politics? Jasmine, what are your thoughts on its impact on democracy?" The room divided as Crockett prepared to respond. Some audience members clapped in support, while others were silent, intrigued by Musk's unflappable demeanor. Crockett leaned forward, her voice steady, but forceful. "Mr. Musk, you and your billionaire allies aren't just buying influence, you're buying this country. You pour millions into Trump's campaign, control X for your agenda, and sit in the White House advising policies that benefit you. That's not democracy, that's an oligarchy." The words hit the air with the force of a slap. The room fell silent, all eyes on Musk, but he remained unmoved, a slight smile curling at his lips as he tapped his fingers lightly on the table. "Representative Crockett, that's quite a dramatic story, but let's stick to the facts," he said calmly. "I fund both parties. Public records prove it. My role in the White House is to fix a broken system, not enrich myself. And as for X, it's where 600 million people, including you, speak freely. If I'm buying influence, why do your posts criticizing me get millions of views? Seems like the people still hold the power." Crockett's eyes flashed with frustration as she leaned in, her voice rising. "You don't just fund, you buy access. Your wealth got you a seat at Trump's table, and now you push policies that protect billionaires like yourself. Ordinary Americans don't have that power. You're turning democracy into a playground for the ultra-rich, and that's shameful." Musk's voice remained almost cheerful, but laced with sharpness. "Corruption? That's a heavy accusation, Representative. Let's look at the numbers. My companies create 200,000 jobs globally, mostly in America. I've paid $30 billion in taxes over the last decade. X is the world's largest platform for open debate with 650 million users. If I'm a king, I'm a terrible one because I've empowered the people more than ever." Crockett's anger surged. "Your wealth gives you power no one else has. You influence elections, shape the narrative on X, and sit in the White House like an untouchable king. That's not democracy, it's corruption." Musk leaned in, his eyes cold and piercing. "Show me the evidence," he said, his voice low. "I haven't pushed any policies for personal gain. You're just shouting to cover up the fact that you don't have any answers." Crockett's breathing grew erratic. "You're dodging," she shouted, her voice cracking. "Your wealth gives you power no one else has. You shape elections, you control X, and you sit in the White House untouched. That's not democracy, that's corruption." The audience murmured, some cheering Crockett's passion, others growing quieter. Joy Behar, sensing the tension, asked Musk, "How do you ensure your role doesn't drown out the voices of ordinary voters?" Musk smiled, unfazed. "By letting voters speak. X gives every American a megaphone. If my wealth drowned them out, why do grassroots movements trend on X daily? Numbers don't lie, Representative. Only stories do." Crockett, barely containing her rage, shot back, "That's ridiculous. You think your money and platform make you untouchable. The people will see through you." Musk, now leaning forward, narrowed his eyes. "If the people see through me, why do they trust X more than ever? Last week, your anti-Musk hashtag trended for 48 hours. If I'm God, I'm a terrible one. Show me evidence. Don't just lean on emotions." Crockett froze, her face contorted with a mix of anger and despair as she opened her mouth but couldn't respond. In a dramatic moment, she ripped her microphone off, slamming it onto the table with a sharp clang. "I'm not sitting here for a billionaire to mock our democracy," she screamed, before storming off the set. The studio erupted in chaos. Some in the audience clapped wildly, while others looked on in disbelief. The cameras frantically captured every angle, the scene unfolding like a car crash in slow motion. Joy Behar, typically composed, wore a forced smile. "Well, that was quite a moment," she said, trying to regain control. "Nobody saw that coming, but that's The View, always full of surprises." Backstage, the producers scrambled. Some wanted to cut the broadcast immediately, but others knew this moment would be ratings gold. A staff member handed Behar a slip of paper with instructions, but she brushed it aside, trying to maintain composure. The show faced a crisis, as the clip of Crockett storming off quickly went viral. Musk, ever the opportunist, posted a tweet. "Thanks to The View for the chance to debate. Truth always wins, with or without a microphone." The tweet went viral, garnering millions of likes and solidifying Musk's win in the court of public opinion. The media quickly reacted. Conservative outlets hailed Musk's calm composure, while progressive channels tried to defend Crockett. Fox News aired a segment titled, "Musk Exposes the Truth. Crockett Can't Cope." While MSNBC argued that Musk's tactics were bullying, the room divided as Crockett prepared to. The story dominated the media cycle, with social media users mocking Crockett and celebrating Musk's victory. On The View, the fallout was immediate. The show's ratings plummeted as viewers began questioning its fairness. Sponsors grew nervous, and internal debates raged about how to handle the aftermath. The producers were torn between inviting Crockett back to clarify, or continuing to ignore the incident. The network opted for silence, which only fueled the perception that The View had lost its credibility as a debate platform. Crockett, meanwhile, faced a credibility crisis. Despite attempts to rebuild her image on progressive platforms, the incident's viral clip followed her. The public's perception of her as a politician who lacked data-driven arguments only worsened. Her approval ratings dropped, and her political future became uncertain. Meanwhile, Musk's influence grew, not just in conservative circles, but across all of social media, with millions of users praising his calm and data-driven approach. The View incident wasn't just a TV moment. It was a cultural milestone. It highlighted the growing divide between those who support billionaires like Musk and those who view them as a threat to democracy. The clash underscored the power of social media platforms, like X, in shaping public opinion. Musk's ability to remain composed, rely on data, and leverage his platform gave him the upper hand, while Crockett's emotional outburst and lack of specific facts led to her downfall. The incident also sparked a broader conversation about the role of money and technology in American democracy. In the digital age, data and platforms can outweigh emotions, shaping narratives in ways that were once unimaginable. The clash between Musk and Crockett became a case study in how to win debates in today's polarized world, with knowledge, composure, and strategic use of social media. In the end, Musk didn't just win the debate, he reshaped how the public views political discourse and the power of billionaires in American life.